What's good? What's good? Welcome back to another episode of the Urban Platform Speaks. As usual, you know, we got a good show for you. I got my co-host Tanisha in here. What's going on? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
So, yeah, man. Last week, so we haven't been here for 2 weeks, right? And it's been 2 weeks, right, Mike? So last week, what I did was Sunday, I stayed in the house. I did a lot of researching and stuff, and got some videos and stuff together to try to post them myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I made like about 5 videos. I mean, it took me all day. I got up real early that morning, and like I said, I was doing research, and I had to re-record some of the videos. Each video probably was only like about 5 minutes, or in between like 5 and 8 minutes long. And I posted 2 of them, right? And they had no sound. I was like, man, ain't had no sound. I was mad as I don't know
So
what.
why they had no sound? Is it how you
like? All right, so you could hear me, but I had some videos that I wanted to add to because I was making like a commentary type video. So when I brought the other video in onto the podcast, for some reason I couldn't hear it. And then I posted the video, and the video was like I said, about 8 minutes long with all you could hear was me, but you couldn't hear like what I was commenting on. Man, I was mad as I don't know what. So one of the people, I didn't know until I started reading the comments, and then people was like, no sound, no sound, no sound. Oh, man. And then I went back and listened to it. And so one guy on the comment was like, this podcast is not for you. You need to give it up. Right? And so I'm gonna address that because, like, you know, I started 3 successful businesses, and I made mistakes in every business that I started. And if I had to stop in any business or anything, not only that, I've been successful at other things besides business. But if any time I had given up on anything that I started, I wouldn't be right here where I am now.
Right.
So if I don't even know the person name who left that, you know what I mean? And I didn't take it personally, but if that's how you get down, and if that's how you do, you give up anytime you hit a bump in the road, and that's on you. But for me, it was just like a learning experience, you know. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go back. Yeah, I'm gonna figure it out. You know, like this technology stuff to me is new as far as like dealing with cameras and computers and
audio,
lighting
all of that,
and
yeah.
You know, and sound and stuff like that. All this is new to me. But man, I was heartbroken when I and so I apologize to everybody who listened to something. That video got like 400 and something views. You know, so I know that like the title was good because it attracted people to it.
Right.
But it's just it wasn't no content.
Nothing.
So yeah, man, I'm gonna get it figured out. But yeah, it's just a learning experience for me. And you know, like I said, we're gonna keep it moving no matter what. No matter what mistakes we make, what goes on, we're gonna keep it moving.
That's it.
So what's been going on though? You've been gone. We've been gone for 2 weeks.
Nothing. Same old. Work.
Same old.
Yeah. Trying to not work.
It's work. So what's going on at work? It's good or hectic or what?
It's work. It's
work.
I mean, I don't know. Some days is good. Yeah, it's very unnecessary. Yeah. Some days is good. Some days is annoying. Some days is like I'm motivated. Some days I'm not.
Right.
So right now I'm just trying to figure out how not to work. So.
Yeah. And see that's the thing. Like earlier in my life, like I was like, you know, like you gotta work. But part of the reason why I'm doing this podcast is like this is a hobby for me. That's something that I like to do. I'm investing a lot of my time and my money into this. And so it's growing, and if it grows to the point where it can support me, that'll be cool. Yeah. But the thing about work, if you can find like something that you like to do, like a labor of love, you know, that's even better because you will put more effort into something that you love to do than you would like if you gotta drag yourself out of bed to go somewhere and do something that so yeah, so for me that's what I have always tried to strive to do, is just to find something that
you enjoy.
That I love to do.
Mm-hmm.
I like doing these podcasts and stuff like that. So I'm gonna continue to do them. And like I said, hopefully they'll pay out monetarily, but I like to do it. So that's where I spend my time. And it's also an outlet for me because when I finish my real job, that I can come in here and just switch gears.
Yeah.
I switch gears and I forget about like whatever. Once I'm finished with work, I'm finished with work, and I just come in here and I start with the podcast. So, but so y'all saw the title. Katt Williams puts an even bigger target on his back, and so like with the Katt Williams situation, like you saying everything that's been going on with Katt Williams for like what's this been like almost like 2 weeks now?
Yeah, it's been about 2 weeks.
Yeah. So with Katt Williams, for me that the podcast, I watched it like the first day it came out. It was entertaining. What did you think about the Katt Williams interview on Club Shay Shay?
I don't know. I couldn't watch all of it just because after like I was randomly doing stuff like whatever at the market, at the store, and it was in my ear. But at moments where he was, I don't know, I got annoyed with him.
Yeah.
In the very beginning of it, and then when he started talking about like his family and his upbringing, I was like, okay, well maybe it's gonna switch gears and it's just gonna be his interview about his struggle or whatever, his story. But every stop of the way was somebody else's
story.
I don't know, just somebody else infiltrating his story, and their story trumped his story because he's telling another person's story through his vantage point. It was weird. It got weird after a while, and I just didn't know the motive. I kept thinking like, why are you doing this? Like, if somebody said something about you, whenever, why wasn't this addressed in a moment? And I know that Steve Harvey or whoever got on TV, but I feel like they were doing an interview about themselves and they were not talking about Katt Williams.
Yeah.
But if somebody asked them a question, which they know interviewers do, they answered the question, but the interview wasn't about him.
Yeah. And
it just seemed a bit immature for a man of his age and of his stature or caliber that he claims that he claimed to be above all, like kind of like God in his mind. But if he's this elite and untouchable, why are you reaching down to reach back behind you and touch these people who you claim is beneath you?
Now, some people with that interview, they kind of see it as, they look at it as like speaking truth to power. But I don't really see it as like speaking truth to power because
me either.
They are his peers.
Right.
So it's more like, you bickering and arguing with your peers than it is truth to power. And, everything that's on your mind, I don't think it's wise to put everything that's there. So you don't want to put everything out there. People already know that like the entertainment business is shady and it's
cutthroat.
So if you want to go on air or you go on a podcast and you say, just that, like this is a shady business that we are in, it's a cutthroat business that we are in, then you can do that. But when you specifically like try to put people out there like Ricky Smiley and Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer, they all came up through the industry just like you did. And, maybe they did cross some people on their way up. But still, to put people out there like that, I don't think it served like a positive.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
It don't serve a positive, so.
It's self-indulgent, like a lot of this, and I know that he has a tour, and it's probably some of that is a part of his promotion, but I don't see how you can point the finger when you sitting in front of people and people can kind of tell that this is promotion as well. Like what position are you standing on? Like what is your purpose of doing all of this running of the mouth? Like
it was entertaining. I'm not even gonna lie.
Definitely was. It was points where I was like, he is laughing at him. Yeah. But it's just weird because he's pointing a finger in a lot of situations where I feel like he's not 100% telling the truth either.
Right.
And if it's truth to power, who's determining who's the power
Yeah.
and who's the truth? Like, so you're allowing a group of men, you're sitting on a show in front of another man telling him that this group of men are so powerful that they affect you to the point that you got to put them out here.
Right.
And they're clique and they're against people. Like, I don't know, it just seemed right in line with his drug addiction. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think also too, like one thing that I think he should have really focused more on is because he said this was his, he could start his 19th 100 city tour.
Mm-hmm.
And his tours, he financed his tours himself. So that right there, that would have been something for that people could have, like some information that people could use, because if you financing a tour, and that means you don't need a promoter, you don't need other, you doing all this on yourself. He said he had $23,000, and he invested $20,000 into himself, into promoting himself and promoting his tours. I think that's more commendable, and that's information more so that people can use more so than the information about Steve Harvey and Ricky Smiley and Cedric the Entertainer. Because if you invest in yourself and you overcome those people who in your business who you feel like they might have stood in your way, that's more of a that's more of a positive story. That's more, people can get more out of that than they could, the stuff. It was some funny stuff though that he said about, he talked about Ludacris, and I'm not even going to repeat any of the stuff he said about different people or Kevin Hart or Ludacris and stuff like that. But I'm just saying that, I like the fact that he promote his own tours. And, because when I did a few comedy shows, and I financed the comedy shows myself, and a lot of times if you want to be successful, the best way to be successful is you got to do stuff yourself. You got to self-promote, and you got to climb your way to the top. And then you won't be in a position where people can, or you'll be in less of a position where people can kind of exploit you. And so he was able to overcome people stealing his jokes or people putting rumors out about him and stuff like that. And he promoted himself.
I don't know. That's why I feel like, so why do an interview that's just so the opposite of what I feel like people perceive him as? Maybe this is some self-reflection. Maybe he don't feel like he's powerful enough, because I never ever considered Katt Williams less than Faison or less than Earthquake. I always consider him on an elite level with the rest of them. He was one of the greats.
Yeah.
So who is telling him that he's not great enough? It gotta be himself, because I don't see that many people with the vantage point like Katt Williams, who most people speak his name in the top list of comedians consistently.
Right.
So this interview to me was irrelevant, because who told you weren't in the same position?
Yeah. And one thing I can say about that too, though, is people who are ultra competitive, they don't let stuff go. You know what I mean? So when and that's part of what make them as successful as they are, because they have that, they very sensitive. So they have that level of competitiveness. They take everything personal. If you do something to a person like that, it may not be you may not see it as a slight, but they will use that to motivate themselves, and they'll develop animosity and stuff, so that might be where Katt Williams was coming from too,
Yeah, that could be.
Because it was people used to say the same thing about Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, people like that who are just, they're just ultra competitive, and they just take everything as a slight. Even though somebody taking your joke, is that a slight, Mikey? If somebody steal your joke? Because I heard other comedians say,
I feel like sometimes people think alike.
Yeah.
So I mean, it could be a similar joke, just a different way. I don't think it happens all the time. People steal jokes and build on them, or take them and turn them into what they want them to be. That's what anything. That's not even just jokes. You know what I'm saying?
And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know. I saw some of the jokes that were recycled or stolen, and they sounded more recycled to me. Like it was just like his joke. I don't feel like one joke was the replica of the other. They were telling the joke in two different time periods and in two different, completely different ideals. But I feel like the funny part of the joke wasn't necessarily neither one of them in the car. I didn't feel like that was the punchline of the joke. But clearly Katt Williams felt like it was. That was the heavy lift of the joke. And I'm like, he talking about outer space, and anybody in the 19 something Chevy, that's Black culture. Like everybody is gonna have that movement if they get in a Chevy and want to be cool. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like it was a lot of. I've heard them steal, like they showed Katt Williams stole a joke from a boy.
They said that Katt Williams used a joke that JB Smooth, and they show,
similarities.
Yeah, similarities between Katt Williams' joke and
it happens all the time. Yeah,
Katt Williams, his joke, Every Day I'm Hustling. His song, well, Every Day I'm Hustling. I don't know what song. It was a song back in a rap song that JB Smooth used on his. I think that was like back in the early 2000s or the late 90s. JB Smooth did his joke.
And then you got sometimes some people delivery better than others. So we might tell the same joke, but people might laugh harder when I tell it. So I mean, sometimes you just gotta take your L.
I remember when I was in the 5th grade, I used to go to school and tell Richard Pryor jokes. So people steal jokes.
All day.
It's culture. That's a culture thing. They all Black men. Who are funny, who all come from similar type of backgrounds. Their experiences are the same. We are Black people. We know that Black culture is very, very similar, especially in, like, if you're in middle class Black culture. Middle class Black culture across the board is pretty similar. People move the same. The lower class Black culture is pretty similar. They all move the same. So, like, to act like, oh, his experience is less than mine, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Them being homeless, Kevin Hart getting the help, or whatever the case may be. Why is any of that wrong? Why isn't there all of their destinations the focus point? Like, let these people do you and let them do them. Like, I don't know, it's feel like a nut slinging contest or something right now.
Like, I'm thinking, all right, so is it really, like, if you're a comedian and you got one, funny joke, did that make it even work? That make it even like hit harder? Like, if that's your only
if it's
one
just
joke?
one, no, because how many times is that one gonna hit?
Right, because that's just like hitting the lottery.
Right. I mean, but see, if you got a good joke, well, it can hit so many times. Some people use the same jokes for years. But if you only have one good joke, you get what I'm saying?
If that's a success.
No, I can't see it.
Because only one joke that I can think of that like catapulted somebody's career, and that was like Booty Call with Bill Bellamy. Like once Bill Bellamy did that Booty Call joke on, you know what I mean? That just took off. It even turned into a movie. Everybody, you know what I mean? If you're going to see somebody late at night, you call that a booty call. And that was Bill Bellamy. That joke right there catapulted his career.
Right.
Yeah.
But like,
I still think he's funny though, and within his lane. Like, I don't necessarily know if I wouldn't say that I think Bill Bellamy is going to sell out. The Barclays Center. Like, no, but I think he's an entertainer, and I think when he tells his jokes, he's funny. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He's not the same funny as Katt Williams, or I feel like all of them are not funny when they're not funny. Like, sometimes they're just not funny. And, and that's with every comedian. I think that's a natural progression with anything. Like you said, if you don't fail at it a little bit, how do you know how to improve it? Like, you're not going to get better if you're perfect the whole time. Some people don't find your jokes funny. That's healthy. Yeah,
I mean, that makes you want to sharpen up your game. That's just like I said, I posted videos with no sound. I'm making silent movies and shit. So that I'm like, oh man, so what I'm gonna be doing next time, every time I got, I'm going through my checklist. I'm checking the sound, I'm checking the lights, just to make sure everything. So the mistake that I made and the comments that I got from the mistake that I made just motivate me to want to do better. You know what I mean? So yeah, but I mean, if you only have one joke and you thinking that one joke is going to catapult you to the top, that's basically like playing the lottery.
I feel like if you just got one joke, you're not a comedian. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? If it's only one joke you got, you're not a comedian. If you should have a bunch of them in the vote. If somebody steal that one, no problem. That was something slight. I could come back with something 10 times funnier. You get what I'm saying? Like,
it's crazy because there's so many different styles. Like I watch comedians all the time from every genre, and some of them are they're hilarious, and they are not black men or black women. They just funny, and some of them are witty funny. Some of them are quirky funny. Some of them are intellectually funny. Like I could watch a comedy show and I'm not falling out the whole time, but I'm getting jokes and I'm laughing. And this comedian style is what it is, but that doesn't take away from if they're funny or not. Like, it's so many different styles of comedians. It's crazy. And I feel like everybody's story is just their own.
Yep. And find your lane and rock with it.
Just be that. Like, I don't know. I don't compare any of them. Kevin Hart is funny when he's funny. Sometimes he's not.
Right.
He's had shows that were absolutely crying from beginning to end. And then he has shows that I've watched, like that one that he did like over COVID when he was in his living room or something. It was like virtual, or he was in like I didn't think that was funny.
I didn't think that Kevin Hart, that one was funny either. But yeah, a lot of Kevin Hart stuff I like. I like Kevin Hart stuff.
Just like with like smaller people like Kevin Hart and I'm gonna say like Ali Sadiq. If I'm thinking about those two as comedians, I feel like Ali Sadiq's humor is really, really good for an intimate section. Like if he would have did that little virtual thing that Kevin Hart, he would have killed it.
Yeah.
He would have killed it.
Yeah, I can agree with you.
But I don't necessarily see Kevin Hart being always great in those type of small spaces because I don't necessarily think he tells the same stories or the same way.
Yeah, yeah, I think to me, Ali Sadiq though is a better storyteller.
Yes,
I agree.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes.
So he can sit on a stool or
and don't move.
And don't move.
And he gonna have the same voice, the same mellow tone, and he gonna tell you,
voice. Yeah. Ali Sadiq is a excellent storyteller.
And like when we went to see Mark Curry, that was like an extreme shock to me. Like I knew hanging with Mr. Cooper was funny. I knew Mark Curry was funny just from some of the stuff, but I didn't know he was that impactful as a stand-up comedian until I saw him in person and couldn't breathe the whole time. He is really, really funny because he's like all of the funnies wrapped up in one. Like he's really funny. He's really funny.
Yeah, Mark Curry is like one of the people who like you could tell him been doing it for a while because he like perfected his art.
Yeah, and helping other people clearly because nobody's beefing with Mark Curry, right? Right now. And Katt Williams didn't say one bad thing about him. He can only say good stuff about him. So
all right. So is success that important though? Like, all right. So are people like so desperate that like they gotta make it with their jokes? Like is success that important? Say like if you don't blow up in comedy, if you don't blow up and you get to be as funny as somebody like Mark Curry, or it's a lot of like no-name comedians, not no-name comedians, but comedians who are really, really good, who are not really famous.
Right.
But that don't make them not as funny just because, like they didn't blow up like Kevin Hart. So
I feel like
really that important.
Right now it's different levels to success, especially in comedy.
Yeah.
Cause you got your stand-up comedians, you got your Instagram skit comedians, your YouTuber comedians, and in any of those areas you can be in any of those areas you can be successful.
Right.
So you got some YouTube comedians that's doing better than stand-up comedians. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So depending on what you're looking for in success, like what you claim to be your success. Yeah. Especially when it comes to comedy, because sometimes people just fall into comedy. Like, oh, people think you funny. And then they, all right, I'm a comedian and make a couple videos. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that could be like for any, like anything. Like if you play basketball and you don't make it to the NBA and you really good, like, so if you might play overseas, you know, you might play in some other professional, you know, league, but people, you know, some people try to say, well, it don't count if you don't play in the NBA. But if you satisfied in yourself that you did your best and you went the furthest and you work hard on your craft, then what everybody else say shouldn't matter from the outside, you know?
That's if success is not attached to accolades. Like people want attention more than they want success. Like why they want to be successful, they want people to see them. See them. Like, do you see me being successful? And instead of letting the success kind of speak for itself. So I think that's where people get wrapped up into all of these other things because they're trying to prove to people that they are who they say they are or who they have grown to be, instead of just being that and letting people kind of acknowledge it for yourself. Like, let people say that you are who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people are begging for that attention, like begging, like, please see me, tell everybody I'm great. Don't say nothing bad about me. Like, that's not reasonable.
That's like that GOAT conversation we had about Dion, you know. He can call himself the GOAT. Yeah. You know, but everybody can't, you know, but then you got Michael Jordan who don't have to call himself the GOAT. He let other people call him the GOAT. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah, and I think like when you do, like Katt Williams did this, like I said, this puts like a bigger target on his back.
Yeah.
Because people who like the people that he criticized, now they coming after him, you know, and then people are going to start digging into it. People are already saying stuff, you know, about Katt Williams and looking into his past and stuff like that.
Yeah, he opened up the floodgates.
Yeah. So you already, if you're successful at anything, you already gonna have enemies. But then you just compound it when you do stuff like this, you know.
So do you think he was successful in this interview? Like, whatever his purpose was for this interview, whether it was to get push his narrative, to push his tour, whatever it was, do you think he was successful in this interview?
He was successful at getting people's attention. If that was his intent, then he did that. Because now, this is not Katt Williams' first time speaking on these topics and giving these, because he said himself when he came into this industry, he was going to expose people. But the people the people he exposed are his peers. That's like, if you're in the 5th grade and you tell on another 5th grader, you know, like what's the difference? You know what I mean? You just affecting that 5th grade, you know?
Right.
So he was successful in exposing his peers. But like I said, you can go ahead and you can expose people without making it so personal. Like I said, he could have said that this is a dirty business, you know, document everything, all your content, so it'll be harder for people to. Bernie Mac went through the same thing, but you never, you know, he would never give this kind of interview. And everybody who talk about Bernie Mac speak highly of Bernie Mac. You know what I mean? They say, and people want to speak highly of Katt, but he's just making his role a little bit rougher than what it's, you know, what it need to be.
People speculated that he was doing things on drugs, blah, 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 this and that. And then he had some behaviors and mannerisms that were in public eye that supported the assumption, like Holly supported. And then you come on Shannon Sharp and you're drinking clearly more than you probably should, like, and then making fun and ridiculing and then acting like you've never touched a drug, but to say in your same breath, the only drugs I've ever touched were weed and alcohol. Like, a drug is a drug, like, and clearly, if he's not using a drug, alcohol is also an addiction, sir. Yeah. And so I don't know. I think he was successful, like you said, in getting the attention that he was seeking. But I think on the opposite side, it's going to be some backlash because, like you say, he opened some doors that he probably he probably didn't flush out the idea of those doors being open because he was so busy standing on business. So he like, I'm gonna expose by any means, and I don't care who expose you until somebody exposes the wrong thing about you. And then it's like, oh, damn, I should have got my mouth closed.
Yeah, that just, you know, and then so that's gonna take away from him, like, because he's so funny, he really don't need this kind of controversy. That's number one. And then number two, you are that take away from you perfecting your art,
right?
You know, because you spend so much more time just like fighting all these different battles unnecessary battles, then that take away from you, perfecting your art. And then you may not reach the point of like a Mark Carey, or Eddie Griffin. Like, and when you go see like a Mark Carey or Eddie Griffin and these guys like Underground Comics, JB Smooth, people like that who do comedy, and that's all they do, and they perfect their art. These guys, these people get good. They get really, really good after a while. That's just like if you go to like a jazz, little jazz concert, and a local musician to be there, and you listen to him, be like, oh, damn, this, you know what I mean? This person is bad.
Experienced it.
And you be like, oh man, how come they don't have no, but this person been doing this for 20, 30 years, playing a piano, playing the clarinet, or play whatever they play, the saxophone or whatever they play, and they just be bad. But, they perfect their art, and they a lot of times people can be happy with just that. Like I said, a labor of love.
And I don't see why, like, if he was saying that people sold out a ring, they couldn't do what he can do. But you are mad. It looks like you're mad because Kevin Hart has sold out an arena. But then you say that Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer and Faison and these people are not funny enough, Ricky Smiley, to sell out even the shows that you do. So what? Right. Like, that literally takes no sweat off your back. If you are selling out 100 city shows and packing out not stadiums, but packing out these larger venues over venues that Ricky Smiley could pack out, why is that something that you want to talk about? Like, because you're already here. It looks like you're shaming somebody. That just, I don't know. It didn't make me like him. It just made me, I was cool with Katt Williams. It just made me kind of funny. I'm like,
I just think like, so all right, if you're a comedian and people don't think you funny and you get a talk show, you know what I mean? Is that still winning?
And how is that your fault though?
Right.
Because if people would have given Katt Williams a talk show, he would have taken it, right? Like, I don't think that he wouldn't have, I don't think he would have turned it down and been like, oh no, because real comedians who are hilarious and got it from the bottom up do not do talk shows, do not do movies. Like, what? It just doesn't make sense. I feel like he would have did it as well, but
it's different.
I don't know. He was coming across as a bit of a hater. A bit of a hater.
I feel like he just was screaming on his insecurity.
Yeah, it was insane.
Like,
And the people who agree, the people who I feel like are like truth to power, are also people who don't have
they don't know what power really is.
Yeah, they are similar thinkers, probably similar movers. They think that what he said was powerful because he was exposing people, and the exposing of the people excited these people who agree with them. I don't know. People who will get excited off of exposing other people are just, they already not on my level. You know
So that wasn't. So, all right, speaking of exposing people, I'm going to go a different route real quick. Right? Ask your opinion on this. I was watching a show yesterday. I think it was like Love After Lockup. and look, so this lady on there, she dating this guy. I don't know. They get ready to get married. So I guess he her fiance. So she is dating him, and she think that he cheating. So she went on his phone.
Is this Monique?
No, I don't know who it is. I just saw that. I was like, all right, it might be. I don't know who Dr. Monique is. So she thought he was cheating. So she went on his phone, and she found, like, she seen who he was communicating with, right? And come to find out, he was communicating with a man. Is this who y'all talking about?
No.
All right, so he communicating with a man. Now they are on a national television show, and so she made it aware to everybody, like the people on the show, and she made it aware to everybody that he communicating with a man. So I'm like, now what do y'all think about that? Do y'all think that she is wrong for putting them out there like that?
No.
Is it because cameras were around that she was wrong?
Yeah, I mean.
All right, so I can see that. All right, cool. Because
let me see your mic. You gotta turn it around. Oh, okay.
Maybe that's why I don't want to hold it too close.
Oh, all right.
So I feel like if the if it's cameras around, it's different. If it's a one-on-one conversation between you and your person, and this is the thing, then okay.
But I mean, publicly out.
Right. Publicly humiliation, I think that's wrong. Like if she ain't have to say who it was in that moment. If she knew it was, she could have put it in the pocket and brought it back up. I guess when the people weren't around. But to tell who it was, I don't think that was.
I think that was probably anger.
Yeah, I mean, so do you think it was good though that she put him out there publicly?
No, not good. Not good for either one of them.
Yeah, not good for him and not good for her, because like ain't nothing really for her to gain from that. People might say, was she right? Even though he was wrong cheating on it and then cheating with a guy, supposedly, I don't know if it was a guy or not. I was like, is that a good look for her to put this guy out there publicly?
If this is something that she didn't see coming, and this was like a shock, I don't know if I could actually judge her on her reaction to it. They on Love After Lockup. Cameras are there to capture their moments. Even if they're genuine or recorded, or scripted or whatever, the cameras are there to catch the moment. So if I find out in the moment and cameras are recording that I'm looking in your phone and I feel away and I find out that you cheating, and then it's a man and I don't know that you like men, I don't care who around. I'm gonna zap out and I don't care who's in the room. So you're gonna get exposed just because. What the hell? Like I'm exposing you because I don't even see these cameras. I'm tunnel vision on you and your foolishness. I don't even see the rest of the people in this room. So if it was a genuine moment, I'm not gonna blame her. Yeah. But if it wasn't genuine and it was kind of like scripted and I'm gonna fall back and then I'm gonna show everybody, then that's different. But in that moment, if she was talking directly to him, just like, what the hell?
That's not a private conversation though.
But if you've made your private space public with these cameras, I don't see how if that's happening directly in a moment and I'm shocked, I don't see if I'm able to be like, hold up, stop rolling. You know what I'm saying? Because I might genuinely lose it in that moment. I might not have said this. You dealing with dude, like I don't know, but to zap out and not really enrage is different.
So she is like, all right. So I mean, by that scenario, like, all right, because even if you're in a situation where your emotions are, you can't. That's like somebody saying that they lose control and they might do something like, like harm somebody. You know what I mean? So like, I don't think that qualifies you as, So Melissa said she wasn't.
Yeah, she thought it was a girl.
She really thought it was a girl. Now. Yeah, if she cheated, I don't know. I mean,
that's kind of a shock. Like I could see her being like, cut these cameras off. If it was a chick and that's what you expecting, but your dude that you dealing with and you don't know.
So you feel like her reaction would have been different if it was a woman?
No, she would have zapped. I think people's reaction would have been different if it was a woman. I think she still would have zapped in the moment, but nobody cares if it's a moment of woman because they expect it to be one. Yeah, but to not expect it to be a woman and it be a dude.
So what if the guy he thought his girl was cheating? He goes through her phone and
it's a woman.
It's a woman.
He gonna have the same reaction. Oh no, he gonna zap. Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Because listen, men right now in 2024 are very, very threatened by other women, by gay women, like period. I don't care what men are threatened. They feel like it's a challenge. So or complete dig on their ego. Like you cheating on me and you cheating on me with a chick. Like, are you crazy? That's an insult. He gonna lose his mind.
Yeah, I think it's a double standard though. I think because some women are gonna assume that because it's a woman, like the guy might even be like, he may like that situation.
Yeah, he might think that till he see her.
Right. Yeah.
Till he see her, and then it's like, or till he understands it's not the woman he was thinking it was. He thought it was.
Till he realized the connection between the two women is different.
Right, and he can't even
compete with that
at all. He can't even intervene through that. So
well, I mean, maybe that's how she felt. Maybe she felt like the connection between those two fellas.
And that's why she wowed on national TV. Sir, go sit down. You knew you were texting a man. You knew you were. And if you got exposed, that's your fault. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, if you're trying to hide it, he ain't trying to hide it.
But were they like in the same room and she saw him texting this next phone?
No, she stole his phone. He wasn't there. So while he wasn't there, I think she went through the phone and got the contacts and reached out to the person that was contacted and found out it was a man. So
hello, Bob. This is Shirley.
she even had more time, I guess, because he wasn't there. But I don't know. You know, that's why I said, like, sometimes you got to play your emotions close to the vest. Even though he was in the wrong for cheating, you know, and they got kids together, then you got to think about that. You know what I mean? How that's going to impact their relationship with that.
Melissa said he made it seem like he was being catfished. Is that what was?
Oh, all right. So he made it seem like he was being catfished. But, like, I don't know, like that. I guess he was just trying to cover his tracks with that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he definitely was. So now even more of a reason to slap you on national TV. Yeah. Because now you extra lying. Like, I probably would have just left. Like, you're not going to keep embarrassing me. Y'all can take these cameras and shove them.
Melissa was saying that the girlfriend was catfishing.
Oh, the girlfriend was catfishing him. All right. So, I get it.
What?
So he was trying to say that he thought his girlfriend was playing on his phone. Okay. And so only reason why he responded to those messages
is because the girl was catfishing him.
But still.
Yeah, no.
He's still trying to cover his track.
That's a lie.
Was a good try.
That was a lie.
Like, girl, I thought that was you. That was a good try, but still he's trying to cover his track.
Because no man who has no desire in men are going to fall for a girl. I thought that you was my girlfriend catfishing me. They're not going to respond. Yeah. They're not going to respond.
And then, so you even know, like, the way that your girlfriend communicates. Like, after a couple messages, it
ain't be like, wait a minute, this don't sound right.
Right, yeah. You know, who is this? Just by, like, the words they use or the way they text. You know, even text message, you can kind of know who that person is.
He was all in. He was all in.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that was a good episode, interesting episode. So, yeah, I just wanted to get your opinion. But I think that she still could play it close to the vest. I don't know. I don't think it helped her situation either, you know, to be kind of like that reactive in those kind of situations.
Yeah, no, not at all. It's like I said, it can backfire on her because now say they work it out.
Yeah.
And she just told the whole world he was texting a man. So now she got to deal with people recognizing her from the show in public out with him. Right. Then she got to deal with her family and friends being like, what you doing? You know, you didn't call him text. It backfire on her, but she going to stay with him. She going to stick beside him.
I hope not.
That's a good reason, too, though. For
it could backfire on her.
I definitely could.
In that moment, even reacting out of emotion. Oh, look at this. He's texting a man. When realistically, you don't want nobody else to have him, not even that man. So it could backfire on both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was
not saying. Even that man is insane.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's all I got on that topic, though. I just wanted to bring that, you know, to see how y'all felt about that. But yeah, man. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, you can go to urbanplatformfashion.com and pick up one of these hoodies. Both of us got our uniforms, our work uniform on today. We got the black hoodie, the pink hoodie, gray hoodie. What else we got? Long sleeve t-shirts. We have short sleeve t-shirts. We also have 1111 socks. These socks are thick and they're comfortable. Now, for the socks, you have to go to the Instagram account. So make sure you go to the Instagram account and pick up the socks. And so can you see the Instagram account? There you go. In the corner. Yeah. So go to Instagram if you're interested in picking up some of these socks. And those are the 3 different options that we have with the socks. So yeah, with that being said, that's it for this episode. And also leave a comment at the bottom. Let us know what y'all think about, you know, the Katt Williams situation. Was that cool for him to, you know, to go at all these different comedians, even though he may have been telling the truth? A lot of people didn't even dispute some of the stuff that he was saying. But
I feel like that don't mean
true,
right. I don't know if that was a signal that it was true, or that people just don't feel like they ain't feel like going, you know, back and forth with him. So I'm gonna let him have it, and I'm gonna walk away and make him irrelevant. Like, people always want to come back. Like, sometimes it's okay to just shut up and not say anything. Now the person gotta wonder what you feeling or what you gonna do. And so I think it was okay that they responded the way that they did.
Because I know Kevin Hart's first message was positive. Ricky Smiley, his message was positive. So they didn't really go at him the way he came at them. I don't know. But make sure to like and subscribe. And go to urbanplatformfashion.com, pick yourself up some merchandise. And we will see you all on the next episode. With that being said, peace out.